All right, so we're back for episode 3 of website reviews that might hurt your feelings. And today we had Mavi's Pantry contact us via Instagram. They've seen our reels, so they have asked us to go through their website. So that's what we'll be going through today.
Okay, so basically what we do is we go through a checklist which looks at the website from a conversion-focused point of view. The first thing is the impression that we get in the messaging. We then move on to the navigation and user experience. We'll look at the call to actions that are used. We also look for trust and proof elements like testimonials and case studies and things. We look at SEO and their content strategy. We look at the performance and technical health of the website, just to make sure it's nice and fast loading in. We'll look at lead capture, funnel strategies, and if it's e-commerce, some sales strategies. We'll look at conversion analytics and tracking. So this site was very slow for loading in for me. I had to wait a good few seconds before it actually loaded up. That's probably because it's an e-commerce site. It is built on WordPress, which is inherently slow anyway if it's not been optimized properly. Because it's got a lot of imagery on the website, there's a good possibility that the websites maybe aren't as optimized as they possibly could be. Okay, so in terms of first impressions, a bit slow, it's a bit annoying. I'm looking at this in my iMac, so the chances are it's always going to be faster on an iMac than what will be on a mobile phone, which means it's probably going to be even slower on the mobile.
Yeah.
When the website first loads, once it does finally load, there's not really much of a UVP there. There's no unique value proposition. The first, it's the top half above the fold is actually showing a kind of slider or feed kind of functionality, which jumps from different things. And these, from a conversion point of view, probably are not the best thing to do. You really need to be testing the scope, of course. But the first image I see is the Shark Tank India. That's great from a business perspective, but how does that tell people about the value the value proposition of the product? Most people go to an e-commerce site will be looking for the products and things, not how they got on at Shark Tank India. So that's probably something that I would look at. I would actually probably do some split testing on this top hero section and swap out the slider, the slider section in the hero, just for a single image which is completely optimized to get that unique value proposition there. That doesn't mean that you couldn't link to the most common products or offer a few a call to action there, but I'd definitely be testing it.
Yeah, I noticed that all the text as well is on the images, which isn't very good for SEO because you have no H1, H2 tag there. Also, you don't need your logo on every single image there because it's on the bottle, and you're on your site, so you should know what site you're on.
So this is kind of more about the actual messaging itself and the context around the image, which is presenting the image with it. So yeah, I would agree there as well. The navigation, moving on to navigation and user experience, it looks pretty simple to get around. I mean, you've got shop by categories up in the top menu. You've got the kind of default menu just to the right hand side of that. Fairly obvious what you would expect within any e-commerce site. The categories are then duplicated as you start to move down the page. It is quite difficult to read some of the text on there just because of the way the the background image is kind of a bit lighter in places. So I would probably look at putting a kind of darker overlay on them, which it does have when you hover
when
over
you
it,
hover.
but it probably needs a in the natural state before hovering, you know?
Yeah, I'd also change the word categories up there to maybe shop our collection or something a bit more enticing because categories just looks like it's the default H2 that's there.
That's right. And I mean, this is a good opportunity for to try and brand these type of things as well, you know?
Yeah,
Now, one of the things that isn't on it is here. So you'll see when you're browsing down the page, much like how our site works, you do the navigation menu does pop down when you start to browse back up the page. That's good.
yeah,
I would always recommend that. Also gives you access to the search features on the right hand side. You know, the favourites, the basket, and the user information,
yeah.
which is good.
It's really good, yeah.
In terms of the page flow, it does kind of flow logically, in my personal opinion. You know,
Yep, I
as
agree.
as you start to browse down the page, it starts to show you like the best sellers, shop beverages. When you hover over the products, you know, it's giving you the opportunity to click through. Um, the cost and everything is quite clear. The
Yep,
add to carts are pretty. I mean, that's not the best colour of green, I don't think, but that's just from a personal point of view. You know, design's subjective, I suppose.
yep,
But I would maybe look at, you know, having a different call to action there because the call to action for select options is the same for add to cart. Add to cart is probably more uh, uh, a call to action, I suppose. That's, you know, it's actually taking an action. Where a select option, although you're still taking an action, you need to actually select options before you can take
you can,
the main action.
yeah,
So they've got different sections there on like shop kimchi, which is good. So that's category based information there.
yeah,
There's a little call to action here for the monthly ferment mix, which is it must be a newsletter, I assume.
yeah,
Um,
it's good.
I would probably re maybe look at redesigning this kind of section just to make it one integrated thing, um,
Yeah,
and actually
I'd make
have
it a
the
bit more, I'd make it a bit more prominent.
yeah
At the moment it's kind of lost.
yeah
Um,
that's right.
yeah,
It's hard to read, and you know, although I know that you know that arrow is the button because I'm hovering over it, you know, it's maybe not the best user experience.
mm,
And then we start to move down the page again. Again, it's another category based section, which again is good. Underneath that, you've got some trust proof elements, which is testimonials from some customers, which is animated. It's actually quite nice. Hard to read the content though, especially of the person's name, and it looks like their store name, for instance. It's pretty light. They probably want to darken up that content there. I would maybe try and improve this section as well. Actually, maybe add a star rating in there if they actually provide that.
yeah,
I would also look at if they have Google reviews or any other reviews from any other platform. I would look at trying to get that integrated. And if they've got any like trust badges that they can add, they've got some. They've got some underneath the testimonial part. There's a blog section which takes you off to the different blog articles. Then underneath that, this could possibly be seen as kind of trust and proof elements. You know, 100% natural, organic. I would probably put that up further in the page,
yeah, me too.
maybe even below the hero section.
It's also interactive.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Which
quite
is
nice.
quite nice, yeah.
And the footer is fairly obvious. It's got the links to most of the other things there. Just really the account and the policies and things, which is fine. But what I've noticed is there's no, even with the top navigation that floats down once you start scrolling up. There's no way to get back to the category list. So I'll be looking for to try and integrate the category links with a drop down or
Mm-hmm.
something so it's always accessible, irrespective of where you are on that page.
Yep.
They do have some logos and things at the bottom for Google Pay and Paytm and things like that, which is good. Now, in terms of uh, SEO and content strategy, they do have some blog blogs. I mean, we've highlighted a few parts to um, to try and improve and optimize here. Um, what I'd probably do is I would look at it from uh, in terms of the user experience and the content strategy. What is it that they're trying to do? Is it the products? Are they highlighting the right products, the ones that are do sell the best?
Yeah.
Are they offering bundled products? If you buy this, you get this, and this within that bundle, and it's a cheaper amount. That's probably something that I'll be looking to do as well.
Yep.
And there is a blog, so that's good. If we just have a look at the page title and things, so their page title is "Buy fermented drinks online in India: kombucha, kimchi, and beet kvass." Uh, I mean, we'd need to look at to find out what the SEO, the aim is here from an SEO perspective. The description's got far too much information, and it should probably be made a little bit more succinct.
Yeah, I think they've just tried to pop some keywords in there. Um,
But I mean, in the
in the
description
kombucha
for
kimchi.
yeah, I mean, for the homepage in the description has got try. Are you a kombucha fan? Try out the best kombucha online from Shark Tank season 1 participants. Nobody cares about that. I mean, what they should
I
be doing.
think that's a great thing to kind of highlight, you know, we've been on Shark Tank and maybe you can make a blog out of it. But I don't think it should be the first thing that your your product is based around.
That's right. And I mean, what I would be doing there, I would be looking to optimize the page title and description. I mean, that needs to follow whatever the content strategy is, so that they're actually being able to target the people that they're trying to reach,
Yeah,
with the keywords that are actually being typed in for their particular products that they're trying to search.
yeah,
Uh, and this is a problem when when some businesses you know assume things that just aren't true, based on what they know themselves, and what I've seen before in a lot of different businesses is, the type in like things that they think the customers will be searching for, but without doing proper research, that will always be an assumption, and you
yeah,
shouldn't rely on assumptions. It should be done research properly.
yeah. All right, we're just gonna have a look at your page speed insights. So I popped your website through the website and we can see here that your performance is sitting at a 47, which is really low. Um, And that's largely due to the fact that you do have so much images on your site. Because you are an e-commerce business, you are going to have a lot more images on a site compared to a B2B company. With your images, just make sure that you're uploading them in WebP or AVIF. Just to ensure that they're compressed as much as possible. This will just help speed your website up. Um, yeah, which will be really good. What else have we got here? Um,
What you can do as well that with images is actually defer the off-screen images. by lazy loading them. So
Yeah.
basically, what happens there is anything above the fold, you don't lazy load. Anything below the fold, or when you see when the page first loads, should be lazy loaded. So all those products and all the different sections on the home page should pretty much all be lazy loaded content.
And lazy loading just means that anything that's not on the screen won't load in until you start scrolling, and then it will start loading in as you're scrolling.
That's correct, yeah.
So your accessibility is a 63, which is still quite low, but your best practices in SEO are both sitting at a 100. Um, what else? So some of your buttons don't have an accessible name. So that it's just been put in there as button.
Also, it doesn't look as if they have Google Tag Manager active on the site either, or Google Tag for analytics. I can see that just after the body tag, they did have the Google Tag there. Certainly, the event itself, anyway. I'll just check. The script is loading in here.
And
But
there seem
that's actually been commented out. So I'd probably be looking to see what's being loaded and what's not, and get that sorted right away.
yeah. And you've got quite a lot of unused CSS and JavaScript, which is backend stuff. But that's probably because you have commented out a lot of stuff. But that could probably just be removed, as that will be slowing your website as well. But we'll send this over to you with a bit more of a deeper outline so that you can understand what's going on your website. Overall, you've got some great images. You do have the right kind of layout on your website. It probably just needs to be refined a bit better. And your logo is black and white, so you do have the ability to use different colors when it comes to your website. So like having these two different greens is I'm not a fan either of the green that's used for the buttons and the shop by categories.
And I think that the point here they're using the green is because of the products that they're selling. And it goes back down to the natural and organic. And what I would probably do here is I would be looking to get a branding, some branding done, and actually go
Yeah.
through and apply a strategy towards what they're actually trying to achieve. Again, we talk about strategy all the time. You do need a strategy for your design and your brand elements. You do need a strategy for your SEO. You do need a strategy for your content. You need a strategy for pretty much everything, and that includes the technical side of things. How are you pushing updates to your website? I mean, this is WordPress was probably updated from admin, but I can see from the technical point of view that there's scripts being loaded in more than once there, and a lot of the scripts aren't actually minified or optimized for the web, and that's unfortunately slowing everything down on your website, and it'll be even worse on mobile.
Mm. Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll send all this through for you. Thank you so much for sending your website through and being our third person for us to go through. We hope you find a lot of value out of what we have said and what we've gone through. If you need any help at all with anything or you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're more than happy to provide some more value to you and help you out where possible. And if you are watching this and you would like your website reviewed, send us a message to our Instagram account at Adonis Media, and we'll get reviewing your website next.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.